The angels of thy heavens do sin, and thy wrath is over the flesh of men. Okay, let's dive into this explainer. Imagine waking up to find that not only is the world ending, but humanity didn't even start the fire. You have one chance, literally one direct line, to the ultimate authority, to argue for the sheer survival of the human race. How on earth do you construct that argument?
Today, we're looking closely at a fascinating ancient source text known as the Prayer for Posterities and Preservation. But we're going to analyze this text through a very specific high-stakes lens. Think of it as a gripping negotiation for the survival of the human race. The author of this text is quite literally pleading for human continuation in the face of complete cosmic annihilation. It is the absolute ultimate exercise in crisis management.
So, the crucial point is how the author actually structures this incredibly daunting task. They don't just panic. Instead, they use a brilliantly calculated three-part rhetorical strategy. Step 1, acknowledge power. You have to establish absolute respect. Step 2, state the crisis. Clearly outline what went wrong. And finally, step 3, make the petition. Present a viable solution. Let's break down exactly how they pull this off.
Section 1. Praising the cosmic creator, acknowledging divine power.
Starting phase 1 of our cosmic art of the deal, the speaker begins by saying they raised their hands in justice and blessed the Holy and the Great One. But notice how they immediately draw attention to the physical, biological act of speaking. They point out that they speak with the breath of their mouth and a tongue of flesh. They're explicitly reminding the Creator that these human tools for speech, the breath, the tongue, the mouth, were specifically given by God to the children of men for this exact purpose. It's a subtle but brilliant way of saying, hey, you built me with the capacity to communicate with you, so please listen to what I have to say.
Once that baseline connection is established, the speaker leans heavily into ultimate respect and flattery. Just look at these attributes. The speaker addresses the divine as the Lord of all heaven's creation, possessing eternal greatness. They describe a deity whose cosmic footprint is so massive, so inescapable across eternity, that all the heavens act merely as a throne, and the entire earth is just a footstool. By highlighting this boundless power, the speaker is effectively buttering up the boss, right? They're demonstrating complete submission before they ever even ask for a favor. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the text transitions from infinite scale to infinite knowledge. The source says, "For thou hast made and dost govern all things, and nothing is too difficult for thee, and no wisdom escapes thee. Thou dost know and see and hear all things." Emphasizing God's total omniscience here leaves absolutely zero room for secrets. It's a rhetorical masterstroke. They're acknowledging that the divine already knows the disaster that's unfolding, perfectly setting up the inescapable truth of the coming crisis. There's no point in hiding the facts, so it's time to just lay them out.
Section 2. The Angelic Rebellion, the Cosmic Crisis.
This brings us abruptly to the terrifying, inciting incident that throws the entire universe completely out of balance. The speaker states plainly, "And now the angels of thy heavens do sin." Think about the profound sense of cosmic betrayal in that short sentence. Humans didn't even start this heavenly crisis. It's an inside job. The highest beings, the angels themselves, are the ones who rebelled. But here is the truly terrifying consequence for us down here on the footstool. Because of the angels' sin, all of humanity is now caught in the crossfire of this ultimate divine wrath. The text says, "Thy wrath is over the flesh of men to the day of the great judgment." The dramatic tension here is just unbelievable. The angels committed the crime, but the flesh of men is trapped under the shadow of this world-ending destruction.
Section 3. A Plea for Humanity, Negotiating Survival.
With the stage set and the stakes at an absolute maximum, we transition from that grand, terrifying cosmic scale down to an incredibly intimate, desperate ask. The speaker says, "I petition and ask that thou wouldst establish my prayer for me, that there remain to me a posterity on earth." Now, posterity simply means a surviving lineage, and this brilliantly illustrates a key shift in the negotiation. The speaker isn't just selfishly asking for their own individual life. They are strategically begging for the biological timeline of the earth to remain unbroken, looking far past themselves to the sheer continuity of the human species. Just look at the incredible stakes in this petition. The author is actively trying to talk God off the ledge here. They beg that the Creator wouldst not annihilate all the flesh of men, and not make empty the whole earth, and there be an everlasting destruction. An empty earth. An everlasting destruction. The speaker is staring directly into the void of total extinction.
But a masterful negotiator knows you can't just ask for a monumental favor like this without offering a concession.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 4, the seed to eternity, the proposed compromise.
To make their case, the author offers a highly calculated compromise, basically dividing humanity into two distinct categories. On one side, we have the flesh which has angered thee. For this group, the speaker makes a massive concession: annihilate them. They completely agree that the wicked flesh should face the ultimate consequences. But on the other side, we have the flesh of justice and of rectitude. The speaker vigorously argues that this righteous fraction absolutely must be preserved. It's an ancient plea bargain. You can destroy the corruption, sure, but you have to save the innocent.
And what should happen to this righteous remnant? The speaker begs that they be established as a plant of the seed to eternity. This right here is the ultimate goal of the entire prayer. In the face of a massive cosmic reset caused by an angelic rebellion, the author is fighting for just one seed, just one small righteous plant that can survive the unimaginable wrath, take root in the desolate aftermath, and grow into eternity. It's a desperate, structurally brilliant plea to ensure that a tiny sliver of justice actually survives the apocalypse.
This source provides us with a truly masterful piece of persuasive rhetoric in the face of absolute doom. It takes a terrifying cosmic crisis and attempts to solve it through structure, immense respect, and a brilliantly reasoned compromise. Which brings me to this final thought for you. If you found yourself standing at the very edge of everlasting destruction, and you had only one prayer, one final opportunity to negotiate the survival of humanity, what would your argument be?